Panthers are up 3-0 again. Not only they're up 3-0, the Miami Heat are up 3-0. The difference between Miami Heat and Florida Panthers is that the Florida Panthers are 3-0 again. And the biggest similarity and the one common theme this week alone, both teams are up 3-0, and they are now both, especially the Florida Panthers, are one win away of going to the championship. Miami Heat is one win away of going to the NBA Finals. The Panthers are one win away of going to the Stanley Cup Finals. This is literally fantasy potentially coming true. Both regional South Florida teams, one win away in the same week. 3-0, man, mind you. And this was difficult because we lost Barkov with a lower back injury. I hope it's not significant. It did say it was questionable, but right now as we speak, there's no update on it yet. But the biggest rescuer of all in this game alone was Sergei Bobrovsky. 32 save shutout. 32 saves. The only goal from the power play, man, mind you, the power play. And power play was decent. The 5-on-3, we couldn't capitalize on it. We should have capitalized on it. The only goal in this entire game, Samson, on a power play goal, assisted by Tkachuk, who probably made the franchise record with this point alone with Sam Bennett. The two Calgary Flames former players to the Sabres former player. And it makes a power play goal. That one goal was the only goal that won us the game, ultimately won us the game. There were scary moments for us that they would have equalized the goal. For example, Aho was pretty close. Jarvis, not really. Burns was pretty close. Stoll was pretty good. I'm sorry. I said Burns, right? Sheffield was pretty close. Pesci, Brady Skay, most of those guys were pretty close of potentially scoring equalizing goal. One of them hit the post on the left side, and the other one just missed. You know that one goal that we could have had in the last game, right? With Colin White, that there's a puck and there's that goal line that is scaled through like that. It did it again here. It did it again against the Carolina Hurricanes. Well, Carolina Hurricanes tried that, and that same thing happened to Colin White. It was the same thing that happened here. It was close. It was pretty close, and the end of it all, they had to pull away Anderson, who was the game one starter. And they put him back in for game 3. They had to pull him out with 4 minutes left. 4 minutes left. Can you imagine? There were a lot of tough calls, but Bobrovsky was making those crucial saves. And we almost got an empty net goal. Almost. Just missed it. And when we were finally going to get empty net goal, the shot was blocked. May I mind you with this? Carolina Hurricanes had more of a possession time in the third period alone, more offensive time in the third period alone than Florida did, and that was alarming, especially since Barkov is not there playing. We needed someone to help with the face-offs, so they put Lo Serenen to replace him in the top line, which is okay, but you have to wonder about Barkov's health. That's the key here. Barkov. I hope he gets better by tomorrow. I really hope. It doesn't seem significant though. It didn't look like it. But he was slow to get off the bench, which is, to tell you the truth, we gotta brace. We gotta brace for bad news. We just gotta be prepared, especially if there's a big chance that he doesn't play in Game 4. We're gonna need to do this potentially without Barkov. I hope it doesn't go that way, but if it does, We need to do exactly the same thing that we did tonight. Low Serene on top of the line, which worked okay. But yeah, no, we gotta do this. We gotta do this, right? I'd be lying if I said this game didn't get chippy, because it did. Beginning of the game too, Kachuk and Burns again. And with all the scuffles, with everything that's been going on, Hurricanes are pretty pissed off. There was actually an incident before that game even happened, which go read the headline. It's disgusting what happened. It reminds me of those days when I was younger. It's that's bullshit. That's entirely bullshit. Go read it out yourselves. I don't want to say it in the camera, but just know that something did happen. But you know what, though? Besides that bullshit, tonight has been pretty good. Both teams are up 3-0, especially the Florida Panthers. Who knew the Florida Panthers would make it this far? And to think, we lost in overtime against Toronto. And to think that all we needed was to get that one more win, and we couldn't do so. But Chicago came in clutch, beat Pittsburgh, and clinched us a playoff spot. We've come so far since then, haven't we? The same team that put us on a below was this one. Think about it this way. If we win against Carolina, we would have played Carolina anyway in the playoffs. But instead, Carolina beats us 6-4, which was my knowledge of the final score in that last regular season game. We got Boston, and Boston was beating us 3-1 in the series. If Marchand didn't score that goal, we would never made it this far, because Kachuk scored the overtime goal, Reinhart scored the empty netter, Verhaeghe scores the overtime goal, Game 7, that ultimately puts us into the Toronto series. And in the rest is history. We beat Toronto in 5. Since that miss saved from the Boston game, we beat Boston in 7. We beat Toronto in 5. And now, against Carolina, one more win to go to the Stanley Cup final. 5 more wins to win it all. In our franchise history, we never won a Stanley Cup game. It don't matter if it's the finals. It don't matter if it's to win it all. We never won a game. I want this. We all want this. I want at least one win. And I just want to feel it, Because most of us, and there's a lot of you out there, and I know this, because I'm friends with them, especially Miami Popeye. None of us were even, most of us, I'm not going to say none of us, but most of us were born after that first Stanley Cup run that they got swept. Most of us were born after. Some were born before. So this would be our first time experiencing it in our lifetimes, if we make it there. But right now, we're in a very good spot to make it. But again, I'm going to say the same thing I said in that Toronto series, and I said it again in the Miami and Boston series. I'm going to say it the third time, and I stand by what I said. We cannot get ahead of ourselves. We cannot celebrate too early. Otherwise, Carolina, they have a plan to get back in the series and create one of the most incredible comebacks in history. I don't know if that's gonna happen, so I don't want to think about it. But in order for that not to happen, we need to win this game. We gotta try to sweep. If we can't sweep, that's okay, because we go to Carolina Wednesday anyway, Friday anyway, because Wednesday is Game 4. So We'll see what happens on Wednesday, and we'll see what happens tomorrow night. Well, actually, now that it's 12:10 a.m. because I just got home from a friend's house tonight with the Miami Heat Game 4. We'll see what happens. I feel really good about this, but I'm still cautiously nervous. Just saying. Anything could happen. But we gotta pray. We gotta keep on going. And then we might be able to do it. I believe in it. You guys should believe in it too. Keep the faith, and we will win it all. And together, we're going to experience the Miami summer that we have never seen in our lifetimes before. And it starts by going to the finals on both teams. That's going to do it for this video, folks. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Because Miami TVG has your back, and when he does, he'll be right there with you for the entertainment you deserve. This is Miami TVG. Go Panthers! And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night, everybody.